Welcome to GWJ Plays. I'm calling this one After Hours. It's Friday night. We've had long work weeks, and we are about to play EU4. And joining me for this little excursion, we have Mr. Shawn Sands.
All right, I'm a good 2.5 gin and tonics in, so I think I'm okay. I think I can do this now.
Okay, I sure as hell hope so because I'm not sure if I can. Also joining us, PC Gamers managing editor. I don't know if they want me, saying that right now per se.
It will be a little
Cory
bit of an
Banks.
embarrassment.
I am distressingly sober if you're two G and T's in. Like, I need to catch up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you should do
So
that.
I'm ready to dominate the world through the cunning use
My
of alcohol.
my sense is, based on some early tests, that you'll have time to get a drink and drink it fully in between trying to figure out how to move anything in this game.
It should be that I could just move the dude, but the dude didn't want to move.
Well, yeah, he
You
did.
know, you know my favorite part about Let's Play videos is it's the 10 minutes they spend staring at the menu screen.
Yeah, let's not do that.
That's my favorite thing. So,
Tell me what country to choose.
okay,
Okay.
so Shawn, can you see on because you're doing the video capture, can you see when we're picking countries like the way they light up on the screen?
Yeah, it
If
looks
you set
like
it to
It
player.
looks, yeah, it looks like Corey's making a number of poor suggestions here.
Okay.
So
So
let's get you two close together, and then you can
okay.
make important decisions about whether you'll work cooperatively or against each other. So I would recommend that one of you be France and one of you be Castile.
Castile. I'll be France because
Okay?
I was in French immersion until grade 9. So
hmm Now, then there's Corey as Castile. Now
okay,
let me.
so the middle one then we can just crush them like a vice.
Well, yeah. I mean, so you're going to start off. I'm going to give you a brief history, and then we're going to get going. Not deep history. France, you start off in the Hundred Years' War, which means as soon as we hit play, you are at war with England. Don't worry about it because England has virtually no troops in your area, so you'll be able to take care of that. Castile, you're going to have a alliance with Portugal, and you're going to have what's called a personal union with Aragon. That's the other country right next to you, meaning essentially they are your servants and you are their master. And then we will just get going from there, and then you guys will learn how to play Europa Universalis IV. And I am clicking observer mode and ready.
Okay, and I'm clicking play because I'm hosting. Oh God! So just to establish our baseline here,
hmm
Corey, you and I have both done the tutorial.
No. I have played this game for a total of 36 minutes, and 32 of those minutes were spent trying to set up for this video.
Yeah,
Okay.
how did that go for you?
Well, I couldn't move the dude, so I'm
Yeah.
already pretty concerned.
All right, so
The tutorial roughly 4 years ago, so I'm not in much better shape.
Okay, do
That's
I
hyperbole,
see
Peter, but
you
okay.
guys in the game?
I hope so.
Um,
I'm in France. It's pretty big.
Hints aim to help you by giving you information about they have a hint for hints.
Hint. May not want
What
not-
in the
Corey,
fuck?
just turn those off because we have a hint system. His name is Shawn Sands. He's gonna have all the hints you need.
all right.
Why-
Sure, you want to
I
turn
heard.
off hints.
Okay, so I'm at war already.
Okay,
Right.
are you guys going?
Yeah, it's
I'm
paused.
All right, I didn't
We're
load
paused
in.
right now.
Okay,
and pause
time
is-
out, time out, time out. I didn't log in correctly or something because I have nothing.
What do you mean nothing?
I mean, nothing's
Not-
happening.
not-
No, I see things moving.
Oh wait, okay,
Yeah, yeah.
maybe. Okay, all right, good. Actually, it just said you guys joined the channel, so that's all good. Ignore that timeout.
Time it.
Time
Time
in.
now.
That's good.
So
It's
you
just a
guys
bit.
are right now. You'll notice you're moving at 1 time speed. You've started the game. There are up to 5 times speed
We're
happening.
5 days away from my birthday. 4, no, 3 days away now.
Okay.
Hold on. Can we just have a moment? 26,
So that's
27,
mhm.
28. Happy birthday to me, November 29th,
so that's
1444.
so
And
that's
we're done.
This is gonna be
pretty
excruciating.
slow. That's pretty slow, but I like your moxie there. So we got a couple of things going on. I'll just kind of lay it out as things move along. France, you'll notice you're at war.
Yeah.
You will notice that English units. For example, this one that we see right here up in Normandy on the north coast next to Co should be showing up as red. One of the things you want to do now is if you look slightly to its east, you'll notice you have a stack of 30,000 guys in Ile-de-France.
Yes, I see them.
It's also managed by your general, who I believe in this case is your king? I'm not sure. You should take that guy and you should direct him to Normandy, where you will crush your English opposition.
Okay, so and that's Co, or is it? Oh no, there's Normandy. Okay.
Yes. So your allies,
Okay.
Orleans.
They're on the way.
Yeah, Orleans and Bourbonnais is already on the way because they think, even if the French don't show up, we've pretty much got this. So you can begin there.
Yeah.
Cory, how are things going for you? Let's check you out. So
So I have a guy in Toledo.
yeah,
which
that's one.
Typically, I would say you should move.
So an
That's
important
the case.
thing. So let me begin with this. The numbers that you see on your guys are your regiments. So you have 28 regiments, each with roughly should begin with 1,000 apiece. Now you're going to attack, and what's going to happen here is over time, you're going to. Your battle's going to go well, but you'll see you're slowly losing. He's down to 26,000, 25 regiments, 24 regiments. Those aren't permanently lost. If you look up in the top left-hand corner next to your gold, you'll see your manpower. And those units will recharge over time. So you aren't going to have to build 5 more units. You're just going to have to wait till they recharge from your national manpower. Does that make sense?
Kind of. Are you telling me that I'm in war?
No, I'm talking.
Oh boy.
No, it's very quiet. If you look down here, let's see Toledo and Lucia. You've got guys just sitting around. They're having a good time.
You're not having manly battles like me.
It's
Like,
really-
Well, you were
I just stick
you were
Normandy.
talking about things decreasing, but it seems like everything. I had a couple of alliance offers while you were describing to
Okay, tell
Shawn
me.
Andrich what's going on.
Tell me about those.
Well, they're gone now because apparently I didn't.
Did you went stomping off?
My king, Casus
You have a
Belli.
casus belli. That means you can declare war on the. Before you can declare war, you have to have a reason to declare war. So a casus
I
belli.
could totally be.
So I'd like to just point out that
Spirit of
Cory
Urban.
thought Casus Belli was a person.
That's not what happened. I've watched enough West Wing to know that it means cause for war
Oh, very
in
good.
Latin. So fuck you.
Thank you, Bartlett. No, I've got. Now I don't know why there's a Maine in France, but there's like an English guy beating the shit out of me in Maine right now. Should I go from Normandy down there and beat him up?
Absolutely.
That's-
He's in
Okay.
Anjou now, so
Yeah.
yeah, you should pursue. So just because you win a battle doesn't mean the enemy doesn't retreat. So what probably happened is either that was the units from Normandy that just went south, or
Yeah,
not.
they did. No.
Now it's important to note, Anjou is not actually your territory. Your territory is the stuff that's in the dark blue. This is in Provence, which is actually not part of your territory. You can still beat them up and get a war score out of that, so it's probably a good idea. I am still trying to figure out quite how to see things from your guys' point of view.
Oh, I have a Casus Belli trade dispute against
What does
Burgundy.
Mr. Belli want?
Burgundy's threatening our trade, so now I'm allowed to beat them up.
Ignore that. Ignore them. They're fine. Don't worry about that right now.
I don't know.
That's
I've
not-
been gunning for Burgundy since we started.
Portugal declared war on Morocco.
That's
apparently.
good. So that's pretty typical. Morocco is, if you look to the south, that sort of peach area of western and northern Africa is Morocco. And you'll notice that Portugal has Ceuta, which is one small province that they own there. If they ask you to help out, just say sure and then don't do anything. They won't mind. It'll be fine.
Diplomacy with Shawn said.
Absolutely. They're like, hey, can you help me out? And you're like, absolutely.
Speaking of,
We are
the
on
Pope
your-
from Aragorn has called for a crusade against Morocco.
Aragon. Not Aragorn.
It's Aragorn,
Man,
son of
so
Arathorn.
Aragorn,
So-
son of Arathorn.
He's a Numenor.
The white city of Barcelona has asked.
This is going to be excruciating to watch.
I am begging you guys to accelerate up to speed 2. Can I change the speed, or do I even get a
I think
choice?
we're at speed 2. It looks like we're at 2 now.
I think I just pushed the. Oh God, can I do that? Do I have this power?
Apparently.
Oh shit!
You may have the power. You may be like our dungeon master for global economic strategy.
I
I'm
really
just
want.
squatting in Normandy. Should I
Yes.
just be hanging out?
So you'll notice, and I can't actually see it here. You'll notice probably to the right of your unit says a percentage number.
Yeah.
So that
63%.
So that is you sieging that land, and over time you will begin to see that number go up. And each cycle through, you have that percentage of taking over or having siege that land. So -63 means you're not
Okay.
going to do it, but the longer you stay there, the more that number will slowly go up. So you just got supplies shortages there, so you'll probably see that number at like -40 or -30 now. Stay there, and once you've sieged that, you essentially own that territory. It gives you war score to I can select a country. I have powers. I think I've begun to find powers. This is exciting.
You have powers.
So
National epic.
you have, yeah, that's going to be a choice you have. I believe you'll have a selection. What are your options there?
So our subjects have taken to telling tales and legends of Charles VI de Valois. The legend says that in France's darkest hour, he will return to our nation and deliver it from evil. Regardless of the truth of that statement, we should use this in our propaganda. So I can choose yes, I love a good story, or no, our people should focus on the here and now. I'm gonna say yes. I mean, come on, propaganda.
So what are the things that actually happen there?
Oh, I don't know. I just said yes. I just like stories. Was there a thing that's supposed to happen?
So if you hover over the options underneath, you'll actually see some of the things that will happen. Next
I'll
time
keep that in mind next time somebody shows up to tell
next
stories.
time, right, next time. They should know better. I believe that National Epic, if you selected yes, what you're going to get is basically just a prestige bonus. We'll go into that later. Don't worry about it right now.
I'm hiring advisors.
Okay. Well, that costs money, so keep that in mind. Here, let me see if
Okay.
can I select you? And let me see if I can. Okay, so I'm looking as Castile right now. Great. So you are making 6.15 ducats per month. That means you absolutely should buy some advisors. So what your advisors do, and this is important, if you look up at the top left, just under the kind of main bar, you'll see three numbers. One with sort of a scroll next to it, you have a 93 there. One with a bird next to it, you have a 93 there. One with swords next to it, you have 115 there. Do you see those?
I do.
Great. So those are in many ways just like your main points. Those are essentially everything else in the game, it comes back in one way or another to those 3 points. It's your administrative power, your diplomatic power, and your military power from left to right. Your advisors, if you notice, if you click in, do you know where to go to see your advisors?
Yeah, I've hired 2 advisors so far.
And you'll notice
hired...
one has a +1 next to the scroll, and one has a +1 next to your bird.
I don't appreciate this patronizing tone. We are grown-ass men. Because like the kings we are.
So Shawn,
the third advisor that I'm about to hire can give me a military bonus.
So Shawn, all you have to do to prove that is hire a couple of military advisors, and I'll check on you in a minute to make sure you've done that.
I prefer my liege.
So what those advisors? Yeah, go ahead.
You said I'm making 6.1 ducats per month.
Yes, you're now making 6.83, but yes.
So I don't really want to spend. I don't want to spend 9 ducats a month on an advisor. So
No,
I think
you want to do one of the +1 ones. Yes. So you were looking at the National Manpower Modifier advisor. You don't want that one. So what that does is your king, if you click on the big sort of shield up in the top left, you'll see your king in that list with your advisors. King Juan de... Okay, that's your king.
Well done.
You'll see underneath he has a 112. He's a 112 king. By comparison, and this is just almost annoying, Shawn has a 424 king, which is substantially better.
So we're LARPing, basically.
What those numbers mean is that every turn, as a Western nation, you automatically get, every month you get 3 administrative power, 3 diplomatic power, and 3 military power. That, on top of that, whatever your king's attributes are added. So your king adds 1, 1, 2. That means you're a 4, 4, 5. That's just 3 plus 1, 3 plus 1, 3 plus 2. Because you've added these advisors, each one at a +1, now you're adding another one. So if you hover over one of those items, you'll see that your monthly increase is now 5 for administrative, 5 for diplomatic, 5 for military.
6 mil.
6 for military, yes. And what those are a way of, so if you're in that main shield area, click on the gears, and that'll show you your technology.
Right. Okay.
Great. So if you hover over that, you'll actually see that those little green lines at the bottom slowly increase, and each one matches up. One's administrative, one's diplomatic, and one's military. As you collect those points, you will be able to tech up. So at the next technology level, you'll be able to build an armory for military or create a national idea for administrative. And that's really critical to those. However, there are other things those points are used for. They're used to build buildings. So when you build a building, you'll spend gold plus some of those points. They can be used to increase your stability or increase your ability to do certain things in the game. They're just consistently used in different ways. So they're really important to try and gather up, though you won't always be able to. Now, Shawn, you haven't noticed, perhaps, that there is a English army next to you.
Maybe. Oh, wait, I have a thing. Nobles ally with foreign power. Nobility was not fully subjugated during this age, and the nobles could and did strike independent alliances with foreign princes, so I can make them pay for their treachery or deal with them later. So I lose 25 prestige if I deal with them later, which makes sense. That's not what a leader does. Or they pay for their treachery, and France gains a diplomatic insult, casus belli on Auvergne.
So,
and they lose 33 administrative power.
You should do the second one. You do not. So prestige. Let's talk about that for a second. And I've slowed time way down. If you look up at the very top, and did you select the prestige one? Is that what you just did?
Yes.
Yes, I see that.
Yeah.
So do you see that -5 up at the top now?
Yeah, that looks bad.
Yeah, it's pretty it's not great. That is your prestige. Prestige can be a number from -100 to +100, and it impacts the efficiency of your army, your navy, your global trade power, your mercenary cost, your fort defense, your spy defense, your papal influence, your legitimacy, and your relations over time. So having a low number there seems kind of bad.
Yeah, it does seem bad. I feel like it kind of led me down a dark path.
Well, I did say do the other one.
Oh, I thought you said do the second one. The second one was the no prestige one.
Well, I meant the other one. But it's not going to be a problem because you're actually increasing each year. So ways you can recover prestige, here's a good one. Take your 28 stack, go kill that 10 stack, and you'll actually get prestige for winning a battle.
Just killing people gets you prestige?
Killing people, destroying, winning a war.
It tends to impress people.
Well, this seems historically accurate. Like, I've lost face, and so now I need to go and just murder some
English.
Some English, and then they're like, "Oh no, this guy knows." Oh, last jousting. What's with all these story things? The last jousting tournament. We can feel it in the wind. Soon our equestrian elite will be nothing more than a dream remembered as the chivalrous tradition dies out before the onslaught of modernity. The world is changing, but for now, for one last time, let the knights of France ride. So Forward to Glory gives me lose 30 administrative, lose 35 ducats, but I get more morale and army tradition.
Army tradition.
Plus 0.50 yearly prestige.
That's the one to do.
Okay, because the other one makes me lose 5 prestige, which is kind of not what I don't want to do.
Don't do that one.
Okay.
So congratulations on your victory in Co.
Thank you.
Follow the army and wipe them out. So
this is where it gets to be like a real-time strategy game where it's like I gotta like really get my micro down.
Get your micro down, yeah, no.
Yeah, I like the way the arrow fills up as it shows like the loading of the guy moving. That's cool.
All right, we're gonna watch this. So you destroyed that army. If you look at you'll actually
I won 1.50 war score.
Yeah.
I lost some dudes. That's fine.
Your prestige is now 0. That means it went up 5 because it was super negative before. Your legitimacy is 100. That means your king is well respected. He is.
I think I am totes legit.
Totes legit. So what we're going to have you do
That's what a king would say.
If you look down toward the bottom of the screen, bottom right of the screen, you'll see a little English shield down there with a 28% below it. That is the war score. The war score can be anything from -100, which means you're terrible at this game and you should quit, to 100, which means, yay, you beat them and they have to do whatever you say now. 29% is actually pretty good. You see that Army and Co. Armagnac is sieging at -63, and if you look down further to south, in Gascon, Provence is got a 21%. Let both of those flip, so they've got the little lines in saying that you've sieged them, and then we will end the war, and you will have demolished and humiliated the English people.
That's what I like to hear.
So, Cory,
Yes.
how are things going in Spain?
This is, by the way, much better than playing a tutorial alone and crying quietly to
So
myself.
I have been alerted to a disputed secession,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm trying to decide if I can enter an arranged marriage to take over a country.
Which country?
Gallery, where prestige is 9. That one's green, so it makes me think that maybe I have a chance.
So let's hit this. Hit the F button, and in that little space, type gallery, and then there's one with a little arrow or a little flag next to it, and click that button.
Okay.
Now, what do you notice about where the screen took you?
Far away.
It's really far away, isn't it? I mean,
It is.
would we call it an entire continent away?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I probably would.
So
If I were a crude man, I would probably say that.
I didn't say the word. I merely put a pregnant pause where the word would have been. So you probably don't want to own that country. You want to own countries that are right next to you. Let me give you a target. So if you click your shield up at the top,
Yes.
and then next to the light bulb, the little scroll that says missions and decisions, click that. Let's see, what did you select here? You've already picked one. So we need to form more alliances, and an alliance with Navarre should be beneficial to us. Okay, that's a pretty good one. Would you like to do an alliance with Navarre? I can help you with that.
Sure.
Okay.
Why not?
So, do you know where Navarre is?
No.
Okay. If you look to the very top northeast of your country, you'll see a slightly different shade of yellow country called Navarre, where there are 3 guys sitting. Click them with your left button.
Okay.
All right, and click where it says diplomacy. A metric ton of options are going to come up in your face.
Yes. Very much.
But we just want to get alliance with them right now. So click the alliance actions button.
Should I offer alliance?
You see
Because
that?
they will most likely accept.
I would. I think that's a good, solid decision.
Send.
Now you'll notice.
They've accepted our offer to enter into a military alliance.
You'll notice in the
I've
top
gained
right
10
there's
prestige and 25 diplomatic power.
you had a diplomat that you actually sent. In this case, it was Esteban de Valina. He went there. So okay. When you want to do diplomatic actions, you have to have one of those 2 diplomats free to be able to do it.
Okay.
So let's look at your missions now. Royal marriage with Navarre. Well, they've just offered you a royal marriage, so quickly take that mission and then click the little flag that dropped down that said royal marriage offer from Navarre and say, yeah, totally want to get married.
Well, let's get it on.
Great.
Okay.
Well, now you have responsibilities as a husband. I hope you're prepared. Shawn.
Can you explain to me how that works?
No, I have to check on Shawn. You actually have no responsibilities.
I don't know if I'm saying this cow.
A co? I believe it's co.
Co? Just co.
I'm not French.
Definitely not Cox. Okay.
It's definitely not Cox. But I have good news.
Mm-hmm.
Do you notice how all 4 of the red spaces that were part of France are now sieged? In other words, they have the lines going through them. Normandy, Co, and to the south, Gascon and Le
lines, yeah.
That means that you or your allies, or in this case vassals, have now sieged those lands. They essentially belong to you. Nice. Good news. We can bend the English to our will. So click that English shield at the very bottom.
The very bottom.
Where it says 46%.
Where it says 46%.
So if you look at the bottom of your screen, there's going to be a little
Uh-huh.
English shield next to the mini map. Underneath it, it says 46%.
Okay, give me a second.
47% now.
Yeah, okay, there it is. Got it.
So
Okay.
click that.
Yeah.
Now what you can see here is the war. You'll notice that there's a lot of people against England. England is very unhappy now. Their goal, they actually started the war. This is the 100 Years' War. Their goal is at the top. It says take capital Ile-de-France. They're clearly not going to do that. You actually get what's called a ticking war score the longer you hold that capital, because they have not succeeded in their war goal. Does not matter. If it just means good, you're continuing to win. So at the top right, you'll see a little bird next to
Yeah.
Click that, because you have
Okay.
a diplomat free. So this is where you can demand things from your enemy. The little buttons toward the top, you can ask them to cede provinces, revoke cores, return cores, release nations and all treaties, all sorts of stuff. What I would recommend here, so each thing you do spends some of that war score.
Right.
So let's, for example, ask
Offer tribute.
right? So they could do that. Except offer tribute is when you want to give something to the other country because you lost. So let's not do that.
Oh, I just thought I'd like kind of like, like on one hand I'm backhanding them and on the other hand I'm like, have a cupcake. So I'm like really messing with their head. It's kind of a good cop. Bad cop thing.
I felt like there was a whole like a Mockingjay thing you could have done here, like a good, may tribute always be in your favor. I didn't really read the books. Let's go on. So you have a couple of choices here. You could simply let them out of the war, force them to concede defeat, maybe give you some money, or you could take some of that sweet, sweet red English soil as your own.
Whoa. Okay, that's cool. Scotland just declared war on England.
Yeah, because you just beat them up and they're weak, and now everybody's going to take advantage of them.
Nice, like that. Good job, Scotland.
So a good idea here might be to take some of England's land that they took from you in the past. If you click on so if you cede provinces, click on that. There's a check mark at the bottom. That means they're willing to give that up. Let's see if they're willing to give up Normandy as well.
Yeah, I still got a green check mark.
And they are. Now if you look at the bottom left, there's some dollars there. You can click on the plus. Let's see how much money they're willing to give you.
Oh, like it'll just say green plus until
they're like, no, this far, no further.
Okay, so this is way easier negotiating than real life because
Yes,
it's
it
just
is.
straight up. So 110 gold.
Yeah. So why don't you click send demand, and then you'll have.
It's actually on 110. It's flashing between X and green. So in the negotiation, they're like, and then okay, no.
Give them a break. Just give them a break. Take it down to like 88 or something.
No, I'm leaving it 110. Fuck them. So I'm gonna send demand.
Send demand.
Boom.
Congratulations, you have just won the 100 Years' War. You have embarrassed and defeated the English people.
I like how the button to acknowledge it just says fine! Exclamation point. Like fine.
Fine.
Meanwhile, I've got a waves of obscurantism.
Yeah.
A typical response to different kinds of problems. It was frequently behavior in most nations, at least until the Age of Enlightenment arose. Oh, now it's gone. Okay.
Okay, well, you have to select in a certain time. I'm going to finish up with you here. If you notice at the very top north of your nation now, you now own Normandy and Co.
Yep.
Now, as it turns out, this is kind of easier for you than it normally would be because these are natural parts of France. In other words, historically speaking, France considers this a core province, something they should own. In many cases, if you're just sort of branching out and taking over, say, Brittany or Burgundy or I don't know, Russia, you'll actually have to do what's called coring them. In other words, saying, okay, I've taken them and now I have to make them think they actually belong to us. But you don't have to do that here because these are natural parts of France.
Right. It's like these were, so the people are already French.
Exactly. So while you're clipping along and I go check on Cory, why don't you try and figure out who your vassals are?
Damn it. Okay.
Cory.
This fucking homework.
Cory. Now here's the thing.
I'm trying to choose the Pope.
Okay. Oh, good. So you're in the Holy See stuff.
It's not really working very well. I can invest in a cardinal,
right?
But apparently, I have not made such cardinal a pope.
Okay. No. You're never going to make a pope. what you're going to do is you
That's
essentially,
not how the church works.
that's right. So there are active, are you in that little Holy See screen?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. So this is fun. This is a part of the area that we haven't looked at yet. So if you look at the kind of the top names, it'll say active cardinals, and there's a whole bunch of weird names in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those are the current cardinals of the Holy See, the kind of highest cardinal officials to the Pope, who belongs to, the papal states, which is currently located in Rome. You're not going to become the Pope, but you can put enough cardinals in there who are loyal to you that you sort of rule the Pope. Right now, you'll notice that Aragon has two cardinals, Perez de Coloma and the awkwardly
Gandalf the
named
Grey.
Perez de Coloma. He has two people named the same thing. So good
That's
job,
fun.
game.
Okay.
Good job, game. Because he has two and nobody else has two, he is the papal controller. The idea is to get enough people into the active cardinals that you become the papal controller. And to do that, you essentially need to buy them out. So think of it. You see at the bottom where it says future cardinals. These are the
Yeah.
cardinals sort of lined up for future being an active cardinal. You need to bribe them, is what you need to do. And you
So
bribe,
I put in 25 votes for Proctor.
which is okay. So that puts us in a good place. You see, it says Proctor, and then it has Aragon over on the right hand side.
Yeah, that's the
They've
part that I'm concerned
They
about.
voted 35. So you probably need to put in another 15 to switch that Cardinals loyalty. There you go. Now they're loyal to Castile. That means
Oh.
if before anybody else puts in more votes than you, they get elected to active cardinals, they are loyal to you. However, you do not control when they are elected an active cardinal. So at any point, Aragon still has their 40 votes in. So at any time, they could put another 5 in and take back control of that cardinal.
So, may I
yeah.
ask a question here?
Mm,
What?
Yes.
What helps papal influence grow?
Okay, so if you see papal influence up there, learn
Yeah,
to
hover over.
a really important thing is hover. So hover over that, and you'll actually see what influences yearly change. You'll notice that your yearly change is 11.08, which means every year you will increase that much. So by October 1st of next year, you'll have around 16 papal influence,
Right.
and those are the different things. So things like papal state opinion of us. Well, that's a really good thing we can influence. You have 2 free diplomats, which you can see up at the top right in that area. So close this for now and kind of
Okay.
scroll out and go over to Italy and click on Roma, which is one of the provinces the papal state owns. Then click on diplomacy, and instead of here, we're not offering an alliance, we're trying to influence them. So click on influence actions. Oh, nope, relations actions, I'm sorry.
Okay.
And then click on improve relations.
I would like to send my.
So now you have one of your 2 diplomats who is in the Vatican, and he's there, and he's telling everybody how awesome that King Juan is. He's like, have you heard about this King Juan II? He's pretty great. And if you click on the papal state again, what you can see is it's Pope Eugenius IV, and then next to that is a +33 and a +25. The top number is what the Pope thinks of you, or the head of state for that country thinks of you. The bottom number is what your country thinks of that nation. And you'll notice that that top number is slowly going up. It's +37 now. When April comes around, it'll be +39.
Okay.
Okay, so let's click on the papacy again, the Holy See, and hover over papal influence. And you'll notice papal state opinion of us has gone up from what it was before, about 0.5 to about 0.8. You can only influence any one country that's not a vassal at 100 points at any one time, but you'll actually be able to gain maybe 1 or 2 extra papal influence points per year by getting the Pope to like you. There are other things here. Here we see that prestige number again. This is not something Shawn would be good at right now. You have +17. Let's check. Shawn, did you get? How are
I'm
you
at
doing?
-1. I don't know what happened.
Oh, good. I don't even want to click on that. So in fact, that's actually would be a drag on him. So in fact, his papal influence and influence to attract cardinals would be going down a bit. Maybe not as a total, but at least from their prestige point of view. So those are the things that influence your papal influence. At some point, once you have 2 or 3 or whatever cardinals in the active cardinals, you become the Curia controller, and you can see at the top of that screen that Aragon is currently the Curia controller. If you hover over that, you'll see there's a lot of good things. You get a bonus diplomat, you get more prestige, you get additional advisors, you get really nice, you get to actually break marriages, you get to get divorces without any bad things happening. So it's pretty cool.
Cool. May I ask a more general question at this moment?
Yes.
How in the hell do you manage all of these things at one time?
You don't. You pick a thing that you want to do, and then you just focus on that for the most part.
Wow.
I think that's kind of the main thing about this game that's so hard to get your head around as a gamer.
Yeah.
I want to control everything, but this is really more like the flow of history, and you're just sort of dipping your finger into the river and changing the course of things.
So let me give you something to work on, Cory.
Sure.
Let me just check something real quick. I want to check and see what Casus Belli you have. Ah, you do have one. You have a Casus Belli that's called Reconquest of Granada. Granada.
Where do I see that?
If you right click on your screen or go into the shield and click the dove, and this is your diplomacy screen.
Okay.
So if you look on underneath where it says like there's some handshakes and there's some flags and stuff like that, there's one that has a little cross swords next to it, and those are your Casus Belli. These are all the countries that you can pretty easily declare war against right now. And you'll notice you have a Reconquest Casus Belli against Granada. You also have a trade dispute Casus Belli against both Aragon and Granada. Granada is sort of a natural enemy of Castile because they're kind of the classic Moors. They're the vestiges of the North African invasion of the peninsula, and you've pushed them back to the very coast. And now a natural next step for Castile is to reclaim the southern part of the Iberian Peninsula. So,
of course,
yeah, just go with it. So this is a great opportunity for you to get involved in one of those super fun wars that Shawn was just doing.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So here's what we're going to do. We're going to right click on Granada, I don't know. And at the very top it says declare war. And it should be in red. Oh, we need one of your diplomats back. Get that one out of Navarra.
Trying to remember.
So is Esteban de Villena, easiest way, just right click on him in that list at the top.
National ideas.
Okay. You can do
The
it.
list at the top.
So on the right top, next, just under where the
Here we go.
Yeah, you see diplomats, merchants, armies, navies, etc.
Here we go. Okay, so
Is he coming
bring
home?
him back to my area.
Yes, send him home. It'll take him a few days to get there.
I think I've done that.
I don't think you have.
Okay.
Can I do it for you?
You wish.
wish.
What's a good national idea? There's so many different ones.
A good national idea for you right now. So let me come back over to you. So you have a free slot. I'm going to open that up. There's a ton of them. Are you in the screen that shows all
I'm looking at like economic and administrative and.
So do you want to crush your enemies under your heels? Do you want to just get super rich? Do you want
I like money. Is there national ideas that gives me more stability? Because I'm at -1 right now.
No, we can fix that, but you have to spend your administrative points on that. There's not many other ways, but we'll take care of that.
Okay.
I would either select economic ideas, which is the second one from the bottom on the left.
Mm-hmm.
Or I would select defensive ideas. Is that the one? Wait, let me make sure that's the one. Morale of armies is +25. I think that's the one I want. Yeah, or defensive ideas, which is on the far right.
I think defense is good. I'm going to go with defense.
So,
okay.
Yeah, great. You have that now. You don't actually have anything from it yet, so you've just selected the idea. Now you'll notice, or if you're still in that idea screen, that you can click the button that says Battlefield Common Commissions, and it'll give your army tradition an improvement. I can tell you what that is, but it will cost you
almost all of my military power.
all of your military power, which will slow down your ability. If you click on the gears next to it, the technology, you'll notice you're actually also very close to getting the next level of military technology. So now you have an important choice. You can either wait till it gets to 532 and get the next level of across-the-board military power, or you can begin getting that idea. And
now I noticed that it says you can only keep 999 power saved.
Yes.
So they really do want you to spend this.
They do want you to spend
right?
it. Yes.
Yeah. So what do you think? Oh, Grand Advisor.
I think you're not in a war right now, so there's no absolutely critical reason to have yearly army tradition. Your yearly army tradition right now already kind of sucks.
Okay.
It's pretty good. It's not. Actually, I'll take that back. It's not bad, but it is going down.
Well, breaking news: Noble family requests aid.
Okay, so they either want money or you lose stability. Is that the options?
Yeah, I can either lose 97 ducats or I can lose 50 administrative power.
Your call. That's a really close one. You have 454 ducats.
I feel like I have a lot of ducats.
I think that's the call.
I'm a good dude.
I think you should hold your military power and get level 4.
Okay, so I'm going to do that.
Now. But you'll know that that's an option for you to spend that in the near future. Cory, did you figure out how to bring your diplomat home? Yes, you did. Great, he's home. So Esteban de Villena. Let's right-click Granada again, and let's just go to war with them.
I need to find Granada again. Hang on.
It's the southernmost part of your landmass there.
Oh, good job. Okay. A+, gold star.
Thank you.
I like that you just
so I declare war?
Yeah, so click declare war.
Little taste of my attitude in grade 6 for the rare times when I knew something.
I'm just going, there's a couple of options on the right-hand side. It's at Take Core Almeria. That's fine. Just go with that. What it means is the war goal now is, you see that little, there are 3 regions in Granada: Gibraltar, Granada, and Almeria. That just means the war goal currently will be to go put your guys and stand on top of Almeria until it gives up.
All right, you told me that Castile has declared war.
But the first thing to do is take your stack of 20 guys in Andalusia. Can you do that? Did you select them?
Yes.
Okay, now right-click on Cordoba. With them selected. I know you.
Where's
right next? You see those? Yeah. All right. So you're about to beat up some guys. Let's see how that goes.
Okay, it's a fight.
So surprisingly,
there's lots of numbers. They are kicking my ass. I think.
No, they're not.
Apparently, the Lord of Foix wishes to enter a royal marriage.
No, screw that guy.
Yeah.
Some of us are trying to win a war, Shawn.
You know what? Marriages are important too.
Maybe find a hobby while I do this.
Love is a battlefield.
I'm gonna make this super easy for you. Are you ready? Here, just follow what I'll do, and then I'll explain it later. Right-click them south into Grenada. Okay, we're gonna wait till they get there. Oh, that guy's so dead. Come on, get there. Get there.
18 to 1. Come on.
Okay, now hit D. Now right-click into Gibraltar, the tiny little one next to you.
Cory, how would you falter when you're the Rock of Gibraltar?
Be my Rock of... Yes! Good job.
Okay. War is so patient.
We're going to kill them a lot. Now click D again. Good, I've seen it. Now right-click all the way over in Almeria. Okay, I'm going to leave you alone until you win the war. You've just essentially won the war. I'll come back to you.
Excellent.
Stand there until all...
It's really exactly what politics is like.
Well, you are, let's be honest, you're a superior force. Like, you have an entire peninsula at your disposal, and they have 3 little pieces. You should win that. Shawn, how are things going? Did you figure out who your vassals were, by the way?
No.
Okay.
Not really.
So first, let's boost your stability.
Yeah. Let's
So
do
if you
that.
hover over that -1, you'll see that.
That's where I send my army into towns with truncheons and just beat the shit out of anybody who says anything bad about me, right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So if you hover over the -1, you'll see that having a low stability has some pretty bad effects. It lowers your trade power. It increases your national revolt risk, the likelihood that your people will rise up against you in awful, awful revolt. First, hang on one second. I need you to. It's fine. Never mind. So we're going to increase that stability. Go
I
into.
feel like a half-drunk monarch just sitting on his throne while like somebody actually knows what they're doing whispers in his ear.
I am
Just do this. Don't do that.
I am your Jafar. Think of me
Yeah.
like that way.
Okay.
So if you click on your shield, your main shield that takes you
Yep.
to all your stuff, and then click on the little crown with the flag next to it.
The crown of the flag.
Most of the way over.
Oh, got it. Okay.
So you see war exhaustion. You got a little war exhaustion. Don't worry about that. That'll go away. Underneath, boost your stability. If you hover over the word boost, you see you can spend 100 of your
Oh,
270.
man.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I should do that.
You probably oughta. Congratulations, you're at
I
0.
get symbols. Now I'm at 0.
And that's not a bad place to be. 0 is just fine.
Yeah, I don't have any rebels or possible rebels, so that's
It's
good.
probably fine. So you guys have stabilized pretty well. You've got some functioning systems of a kind. Shawn, you can actually go ahead and get both your new diplomatic and military technology.
Ooh, it says I've gained the trade dispute casus belli against England. They're threatening our trade.
Just leave them alone.
I feel like I should punch those English in the
You're
nose.
welcome to. I mean, you can. You could probably just go down there. I mean, do you have? Wait, let's see. Do you have a truce with them still? No, you do not. So you could declare war on England.
In fact, they're not even letting us trade, bunch of jerks. Although, I also kind of want to take Orléans. It's right north of Berry, which doesn't sound very French at all, to be fair.
That's a really good idea because
it's like I want that blue. Like it's right in the middle of all my other stuff. Why isn't it blue?
Well, and here's an interesting thing about them. They're a vassal of yours. You already own them.
Oh, they're a vassal. How do I know they're a vassal?
So if you click on right click on just your
I
country.
see. Foreign claims.
No, just right click on your country, anywhere in it, and
Okay.
it'll bring you to your diplomacy screen.
Oh, okay.
And let's see, where can you see vassals? Where the hell can you see vassals? Actually,
No, I don't feel quite.
oh yeah. So if you write down you see where it says enemies and rivals, and then it has like some handshakes and stuff like that. One of those is a crown with a shield with a yellow arrow. Don't ask me why. It doesn't make sense to me. But if you hover over that, you'll see you have the following vassals. So you have a lot of them. You have Armagnac, you have Auvergne. It's not how that's pronounced, almost certainly. Bourbonnais, Foix, and Orleans. What a vassal is you don't directly control them, but they give basically half of everything they do to you. So half of all the money they earn, they give to you. Their trade power, I think some of that goes to you. What you can eventually do, so let's right click on Orléans, which you said you wanted. If you open the section called Dynastic Actions.
Yep, got it.
You can hover over Annex Vassal.
Okay, and it says your vassal needs to have at least plus 190 opinion of you for you to be able to start an annexation. So they need a much higher opinion of me.
Well, let's start down the road on that. Click just below that where it says Royal Marriage.
Yep.
Do that. Set up a royal marriage with them.
Okay, so the slider's right in the middle, so I'll go send.
Okay, so if you look at the top left, where in diplomacy for Orleans, you'll see those two numbers, plus 115 and plus 200. The top one is the vassal's opinion of you, plus 115. Bottom one is your country's opinion of them.
Ah, right. So you don't want to take on some scrub that your country doesn't even like anyway.
No, you're not. You're not Castile. So let's be honest. So you're
Hey.
at a plus on. How's your war going, buddy? Are you winning? Oh, you're doing great.
I've won 2 sieges, I think.
Good
Maybe
for you.
one.
Give me a call when you got the other 2. So you've got plus 115. You want to get it to plus 190. Above dynastic actions, you'll see relations actions. Can you click that?
Relations?
Mm-hmm.
Relations?
Yep, improve
Yeah.
relations with them. Do that.
Oh, yeah, we want some relations. All
send,
right, so
send your guy there, and then when it gets to 190, annex them. Just be like, come
yeah,
on, get in this French mood.
they're
Like,
practically French anyway.
you're right in the middle. Have you
And some
noticed?
baguettes, little wine, some other stereotypical things.
I'm pretty sure you can see Paris from there. So
Yeah.
it's just a matter of time.
Passive-aggressive diplomats. It's all good.
It's all good. So, guys, I feel like we should take a break.
Yeah, well,
I feel like we should take a break, make sure our recordings are all good.
okay, we'll take a break.
All right, so Shawn, can you pause? But just hit the space bar and see if that pauses. Yeah. All right, so I am going to go over here and stop recording.